Larry, thanks again for giving me the time. Obviously, I wanted to get your thoughts on the whole ordeal. I mean, you've been in boxing for so many years, and you've lived through generations of great fights, and now we get to get this one, and you're also, involved in this in a way because you get to witness it. But is it a little sad for you that you don't get to do that epic post-fight interview that this fight truly deserves?
I'd like to do it, sure. I can't say I'm sad about it. I haven't been with HBO for a couple of years. I've been doing other stuff. My phone is always open to them if they want me involved. But I'm just, a fight fan, and I'm curious about the fight.
But how happy are you that it finally happens? I mean, we've been talking about this for so many years, and we're actually going to get it. And a lot of criticism has been made of Pacquiao over the years, but he's still a very good fighter. I mean, what he did to Chris Algieri and Brandon Rios, not just anyone can do that. Are those opponents that are on his level? Obviously not, but not just any guy can do what he did to those two men either.
Well, first, look, I'm happy that boxing has another big event, an event that transcends the sport, that will be international. Every sport needs the big event, whether it's the Kentucky Derby for horse racing or the Masters golf tournament or the U.S. Open in Wimbledon. Every sport needs that. And boxing especially. And because Americans haven't had significant impact in the heavyweight division with the big events that would usually explode out of that, Mayweather is the best-known American fighter and sort of the heavyweight champion in terms of the interest he generates, the numbers he puts up, etc. So it's a great thing for boxing to have that event. And at this early stage, my thoughts are, I hope the fight lives up to the event. The fight will be forgotten very soon. It's like inviting a lot of people to a party, and the party falls flat if the fight is flat. And if the champagne is flowing and if there's drama, then everybody remembers it. And so we've had a precedent for this in the Tyson-Lewis fight, which was delayed for so many years. Even the Ali Frazier third fight was delayed for a number of years after the first fight. So on those occasions, we got decisive ends or great fights, and they became indelible in our memories. Can we get something like that now? It's normally not what we get in the Mayweather fight, but we can hope.
Well, let's just with some of the details to get your thoughts on that. I mean, for one, the price of the pay-per-view is reported to be $89.95, with $10 more being high definition, which is a $20 increase from what we're used to. I mean, I think the last Mayweather fight was $70, so in this case, it's still $20 more. And then another $10 would be, the high definition. Also, there wasn't a glove issue this time. He's allowing Pacquiao to wear whichever gloves he wants, and not whichever, but he has allowed him to choose, and he is going to be the lead voter, so they're going to be taking the lead on this one when for so many years, they've used Golden Boy. What are your thoughts on some of those small details?
Well, look, I think they were, part of the negotiating process. Mayweather is the driver of these huge events, and it's to his advantage to be able to call the shots, because the negotiations in these fights are like the pre-fight fight. who can dictate the terms, who's got the bigger impact on the event, and sometimes that can even affect what happens in the ring. So I understand all those things have been out there, but having predicted for a long time that the fight was going to happen, but that it probably wouldn't. I'm just glad that it's happening, and that the details are just minor details that guys use to in what I think of as a ritual of domination. I'm the power here. I'm the strong guy. I'm going to get the officials. I'm going to get the crowd, blah, 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 sending some kind of a message to the opponent. I think, and so that's been part of the holdup, as well as economic issues.
Now, obviously, you're because of the internet, your phrase has went viral for 50 years younger. With that same in mind, are you pushing for Pacquiao to be the winner to get some sort of vindication, or just give Mayweather the ass whooping that you wanted to give him?
That's a fair question. Let's see what happens as the fight approaches. I've already been in some discussions with people that to cover the fight. If I'm going as a reporter / commentator / senior kibitzer, I go with one mantra in my mind: trust your eyes, whatever happens, and it's my head that matters. If I go as a fan, then maybe it'll be my heart that rules, and maybe I'll have a different idea. Right now, I'm just happy to be sitting on the sidelines and watching the parade floats go by.
Now, Lomachenko is being reported by ESPN Deportes to be on the undercard. Do you think that that's a smart choice by Top capitalize on such a wide casual fan?
I don't know. I would expect that there would be some Mexican or Mexican-American fighters on the undercard, given the fact that that's where the center of gravity is on boxing in America, which is the biggest marketplace. But one never knows. I don't know if they think this fight needs that kind of boost, or whether internationally other fights matter, which fighter the promoter feels he wants to give the exposure to because it's going to help him in the future. That's not in my pay grade.
I just want to say that I am very happy that you said that you may be part of it, because, I was on my radio show yesterday and I said that this fight just doesn't seem right if Larry Merchant isn't the one asking the questions. It's like not having Michael Buffer announce a main fight. It doesn't make any sense. So I'm very happy that you said that.
Well, you can check in with me in the middle of April or late April, and I'll let you know whether I'm going as a fan or as a media person.
That's great. So you were speaking about promotion and if they thought they needed specific boosts. Speaking of that, 24/7 and All Access, they're not going to do one for this fight. Do you think that's needed? Since I know it's been 5, 6, maybe 7 years of build-up for this, but since we've waited so long, isn't it a bit unfair to take that part of the build-up of the fight away from the fight fans?
I think it is. I think it's become a part of the big show. I think obviously they have decided that there is such power behind this promotion with the curiosity and talk, that they're not going to have to pay for any of the publicity. It's just going to come to them. The mainstream media and every other media is going to want to cover this fight, want to be involved in the build-up, etc. And maybe that, I assume they know their business better than I do, but I agree with you that these in-depth looks at the fighters have become a part of the natural evolution of marketing the big fights. And just as, for example, the day before the fight weigh-in has become a part of marketing the big fight. So I'd be disappointed if there wasn't something on both of them somewhere, but I don't know whether they think they need it.
I'm sorry, I have myself muted. Now, we've seen Mayweather, this is my last question too, I don't want to take too much of your time, and thank you again, but we've seen Mayweather buckled in the past. You know, some may say that he's been knocked down and it wasn't official. Is Pacquiao the guy to at least give Mayweather that knockdown?
I think it's conceivable, but we have to remember, you know, look, he did knock Algieri down, for what that's worth, 6 times in his last fight. Is it conceivable? Yes, particularly because Pacquiao is left-handed, and the shots that have knocked down the bigger fighters he's fought have been shots they haven't seen coming, and in part because he is left-handed, and he throws that left hand right through the middle. But Mayweather's pretty smart where that's concerned, and he's gonna try to employ the most risk-free strategy as he can, unless he finds some weakness in Pacquiao. It's been very hard to hit him on the chin. Some boxing people have said you shouldn't aim for the chin. You should aim for his head, for the side of his eyes and ears and so on. And Manny does have I would say a fairly unique style and rhythm to how he fights. So is there something possible? Sure. But nobody's done it yet, and so that I don't know that you can bet on it, but I imagine the odds would be pretty long.
And let's see if we get some high-level drama. I know I said that was the last, but I just wanted to give you a little comment that Floyd said to Fight Hype. He said that he's bigger, he has a longer reach, and he's obviously the more skilled fighter, so he has no worries at all. Is he within I guess reality to say that?
Well, Floyd has said a lot of things that are not necessarily measured up to reality. But he is a bigger guy. He's probably naturally a bigger guy by a division, and has been. I think when he was 16 years old, he was a bantamweight, and when Pacquiao was 16 years old, he was a flyweight. And they've gradually moved up, and I think it's pretty clear that Mayweather is a slightly bigger man. And yes, he has a more classic, a defensive, technical ability. He's quick-minded. So yeah, on all of those kind of metrics, if I can use that word, he's right. But I imagine a lot of guys who fought Manny thought they had the same advantage in metrics. So the question becomes, can Manny, who hasn't knocked anybody out in 6 years, but has, I think, fought well, and particularly in his last fight against a difficult opponent, can he find that firepower again?
Muting myself again, trying to get perfect audio quality. But I definitely want to thank you for your time. I called you the other day. It might have been a little too late. I figured West Coast 9 p.m. was okay. But thank you again for your time. And I'm really rooting for you, crossing my fingers that they give you that call and confirm that you can be the guy. It would be.
Listen, there are so many announcers and experts associated with this fight from HBO and Showtime. They can probably fill the arena themselves.
Absolutely. Well, Larry, you have a good rest of your day, and thanks again.
Thank you.
All right.